Hi, Nancy Burt-Preece here. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Here's my email, my website, and my June host code. If you don't have a demonstrator, I would love to be your demonstrator. If you need to order anything, please feel free. You can use my website and order right online, or connect with me and I can work with you on that. Not a problem. I also want to let you know that in the month of June, you could join my team. We have a wonderful team, the Glad Impressions team, and there's a special right now that you can join for $99 but get $155 worth of product. It's just for the month of June. Also in June, there's a designer series paper sale. 15% off, some from the back of the annual catalog. So please reach out. The last thing I want to say to you is please share my YouTube channel or my Facebook business page with your friends, crafting friends. And if you haven't, hit subscribe so that you can be notified when I do new videos. I'm trying to get back into my schedule of twice a week, but we will keep working on that, getting back into the swing of it. So today I am casing a card from Beth's Paper Cuts. It's Beth Rush. Let me show you the card. Is that not gorgeous or what? And this is a case. She came up with this, and I see I smeared something on it already. Don't you love when you do that? She just came up with this really cute idea using Inked Botanicals on page 94 and 95 in your annual catalog. And she probably looked at this and thought, you know, I can do that behind something. Gosh, what did I get on my card? I don't know. Always a gum eraser to the rescue. We'll see. So let's show you how to make this card. It is clever. I wished I thought of it myself, but I didn't, of course. So I'm going to start with a piece of Calypso Coral, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. So it's your regular card base. The other parts I need is I used a piece of Very Vanilla, which I have something on that too. What in the world was I doing? And that is cut with the deckled rectangles, one of the smaller middle size ones. A piece of Very Vanilla, 4 by 5 1/4 for the inside. And I use Pool Party and the punches that come with the inked and tiled. So I love this set. I love these flowers. I've only begun to explore this. It's just such a fun set. And I love the two punches. I'm going to call that an X punch and a star punch. I don't know what the real names are, but that's what I'm calling them. So I used Pool Party to cut out a star punch. Now, the other things I'm going to show you is I used some of the Inked Botanicals designer series paper, and it is gorgeous. I love the colors. I like the designs. It just really calls to me. So the colors in here, remember, always look at the back. Calypso Coral, Crushed Curry, Lost Lagoon, Petal Pink, and Pool Party. So that's how I pick colors to go with it. So, oh, that came from my punch, I think. What you're going to need to create this card is you're going to need 4 of what I call the X's. You can, remember, it's double-sided paper. You just get to have a good time. Sometimes that's the hardest part, is figuring out what you need. And you're going to need 4 of these star pieces. So that I just used the punch and cut right out of the designer series paper. So it's super fun, super easy. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to take, the leaf image with Calypso Coral. And I could also use Versamark if I didn't have Calypso Coral. And it's okay if it doesn't, make completely. It's just giving you a little outline around the card, okay? So that's just to give you a little base. And then while I have this leaf image in my hand, I can get it out here, I'm going to ink it up really well and put a lovely ink. Isn't that pretty? I love that look. It's just a really pretty stamp. Okay, so I'll set that aside. I'm going to close up. If you ever come to one of my classes, I close these all the time. Sometimes people aren't even done with them and I close them. And I'll tell you why. Because I usually dump things in them. It's just, I do. So I try not to have my friends dump their beautiful samples in there because that's really frustrating. How are we going to get 2 tones on this flower? Here's how I did it. I did it the easy peasy way. I'm doing, you notice I have this so just the flower heads are getting inked. Okay. Then I'm going to take a Lost Lagoon. And if I get a little ink on there, just kind of get off my fingers a little bit. And I'm going to take a Stampin' Write marker, not a blend. A Stampin' Write marker, and I'm going to color right on here. And then I'm going to use a breath of fresh air just to get the ink wet where I use the marker. And I like putting it at an angle. You don't have to. Totally up to you. And isn't that easy? So easy and very fun. The last thing we're going to stamp before we start putting it together is, the last one I made was Hello Friends. So this one I thought I'd put Happy Birthday, because you always need Happy Birthday for everything. So I'm using Lost Lagoon on Pool Party. It is my new favorite color scheme. I don't know. I just am like, I notice I'm using it for everything. So people are probably like, stop using that. But I really love those 2 colors together. And then I'm going to set this all aside. I'll clean that in a few minutes. Okay, now let's figure out how to put this together. Here's what I did. There could be different ways to do this. I'm not saying I have it all down. I really don't. And if I were doing it, well, let me just demonstrate the correct way. I'm going to use the green glue. And I'll tell you why. It gives you a little bit of wiggle room. And try to get it as close as you can to the points, but you don't want it to ooze out either. You know what I mean? So I'm going to line this up right on the edge. See how I have that lined up right on the edge? I know that's going to come out. Not a problem, because I'm going to trim that off. Now I have to pick one of my X's, which are going to fit beautifully right there. Yes, I know there's a little orange there. I'm really okay with that. If you're not, you could start it over a little bit if that bugs you to have a little orange there. It's totally up to you. Oh, I almost fell there. Let's get that back. And I just line it up. Like I say with this, it gives you a little wiggle room. Now, before I stick my card down, because I've done that before, turn it around, trim that part off. Now, I know some of it is, see, this one I went all the way across. And I tend to want to do that, but I guess you could only go part way. But see, then you can, if you go all the way across, I know some of them are covered up. Then you can put this wherever you want it. Because I debated only doing like 2 here, 1 here, and not doing the middle. So that's a personal preference, I'm going to say. But I'm going to keep going just so I can show you how this pattern is just so fun. So now I'm going to put the X goes on the top. Once again, green glue makes your life so much easier with this kind of design, mainly for the wiggle room stuff. And as some of you know, I didn't like getting green glue, and then I get my hands sticky, and then it drove me nuts. Now I'm a big fan of green glue because I really love the wiggle room. I wonder if I should do this yellow. That would be different. Every time I make this, I'm trying to do, oh, I love that. Now I got to do that side. This is too pretty. I try to use different colors. I love this set because you've got thank you, congratulations, hello friend, happy birthday, just a note. I mean, lots of sayings that are very useful. Certain sets become like my favorites, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be one of them. Because I like when you can just pick it up and whip a card. Now, people are like, maybe you shouldn't put beige and beige. There is no rule here, folks. We can just have fun. I try to cut these so that you can turn it around if you wanted to use this side or you wanted to use that side. You had a little flexibility. So if you come to one of my classes this month at the library, I have some different choices for you. If you're local, I'd love to see you. If you're not local, I'm starting to do some online parties. And I'm very excited about that because it just gives me another avenue for, oops, that one I got to clean up a little bit, for getting out there. So what does an online party mean? It means that I create some posts for you, and it's a private event. You get to choose who you invite to come, and I will, I better get a different one out here. I will create posts different days, and then on the party day, I'll go on live, show a few colors and some cards and different whatever techniques. I work with you individually on that. And then you get to earn hostess benefits. So some people are like, well, I wished I lived closer, I'd come to your classes. Well, this is a way you can still have a party, have a lot of fun, invite your friends, and yet you don't have to live close to me. You know, I might do that peach side. So that is an option. The other thing I wanted to say is I started this month. I was doing it for a while, and now I'm going to start back up doing what I call Class to Go. It's a product, so I'll design some cards. You purchase the product, and I'll give you the cards. I usually give you some other goodies in there too. The reason I want to cut this out is you see I got glue on there, and I don't want to stick it someplace. So you notice I decided, so I have a little more choice. I decided to go all the way across with the pattern and to show you how to do it too. So the next thing I would do is I would pop up, oops, let me use big pop-ups here. I would pop up this little part. So once again, reach out if you would like to do product to go, if you would like to host an online party. If you're local, I'd love to have you come to events. It's just a really nice community of stampers, and that's what I really like. I am going to put that right about there. I like it because it's big enough that it's still really on the Calypso coral. See, I got stuff everywhere. And then I'm going to add this to the inside. That way you could add a birthday greeting if you wanted to stamp something, or you can write. That's important. And I got that crooked. See if I can pull it up on camera and readjust. Okay, so if you pull it light, usually you can readjust it, and that's much better. Okay, then the next thing I'm going to do is I already stamped this. How am I going to get this Lost Lagoon ribbon? So what I did is this is beautiful ribbon that comes with this suite. And I cut about 5 inches. And, oh man, I just put my ribbon scissors someplace. Don't you love it when people do that? Like, well, I found these others. So I'm going to just cut it at an angle. And see, I may need to do more trimming. But what I'm going to do is add a dab of glue, or you could put a little adhesive in the middle. And I put it big enough that I can catch both parts of the ribbon. So I'm putting both parts of the ribbon. You notice I always feel like I'm like 10 thumbs when I'm on camera. And hold that for just a second. Okay. So that really will. Now, the next thing I'll do, and I'll check, see, am I happy with it? Is it where I want it to be? Sometimes you have to foodly-foo with it. Guess what I did? I put it on the wrong side. That's what I love to do on camera. Okay, so I have to make sure where the happy birthday is, because I want it to go that way. So I'm going to get that really sticky and not sticking to my fingers. Then I'm going to put some pop-ups right on it. It also helps to hold that down. People always ask, how many pop dots? I don't know who I heard. One of the big demonstrators said, you know what? You want it to go through the mail and you don't want things to be falling off. So put enough so it really sticks well. Okay, so I've got my little happy birthday. Maybe I'll put it like there. And those are kind of big. So I'm going to come back through and trim it off. Okay. And then the last thing I'm going to do is add one of these beautiful brushed brass butterfly. Say that 3 times. And there you go. Isn't that a fun? And you can see I got sticky on there. Oh, my hands are sticky. It's been one of those days. There we go. What would I not do without a gum eraser? So really fun, easy cards that I just think they have a lot of dimension to them, a lot of movement, and they're fun and easy. So I hope you have a great day. Take care.